Hi Tauruses, welcome to my channel Lucy the Antigua Tarot, and I am Lucy and I am here to do your reading for the rest of the month of September going into October. And today is Sunday and September 17th on Sunday. It's almost 5 p.m. Guatemalan time. I am in Guatemala. And yeah, so I just thought it would be really interesting and very cool to do a reading in relation to the influences that have been coming in since August 21st of 2017 when we had the total solar eclipse. An amazing happening in terms of astrology and astronomy, and the influences that this total eclipse, solar eclipse, brought for us are influences that are going to be hanging around us until around January of 2018. Another significant event was that about 10 days ago, 11 days ago, on September the 6th, we had that full moon, and it was the same moon cycle of the new moon of the total solar eclipse on August 21st. So we are now getting ready to complete that cycle. Today is the 17th because I think the new moon begins on the 20th, 21st, 22nd of September. It'll be coming up soon. So I thought it would be so cool to ask the Tarot what kind of advice and messages the Tarot cards might have for you guys. So I want to do that for you Tauruses today. So let's just get the ball rolling on this. I'm very excited about what the Tarot has to give you guys. So we're starting with the Hangman. Now I'm going to be doing a 9-card spread, Tauruses. This is the center card. This is the main energy for you right now with this throw. And then we're going to start at the top with the first card. You have the World. Your second card that's coming in, you have the 7 of Swords. Okay. Your third card, number 3, you have the High Priestess. So that already is giving you 3 major arcana, Taurus. 1, 2, and 3. Card number 4, you're getting the King of Cups. You have your Hangman as card number 5. Card number 6, you have the Knight of Cups. Wow, it's very interesting. So you have cup court cards right next to each side of your center card, your Hangman. Your 7th card is the Devil. Your 8th card is the 2 of Swords. And finally, your 9th card is the 6 of Pentacles. Now, some of these cards have shown up in some of the other readings that I've done right now. So, let's see what's going on here. I'm going to just move this over a little bit more and try to just center it a little bit more for you so that you guys can see that fairly clearly. Okay. Great. So you have 4 major arcanas with the Devil. So let's see. You have Swords, Cups, and Pentacles. And you have 2 Swords, 2 Cups, which are court cards, and 1 Pentacle. So that's really interesting. So what I would like to do for you guys right now, I would like to start with your center card, the Hangman, which is right at your center. Let's take a look at that card. Okay, now the Hangman is the card number 12. See if I can put that up there for you so you can take a good look at it. This card, number 12, Major Arcana, is the card that follows the Justice card and precedes the Death card. It's the Hangman. It's a beautiful card. And it's comes from the tradition of the great Norse god Odin. And he's hanging from the tree of life, the world tree, the tree of the world. And apparently he hangs there for 9 days in order to gain wisdom and to understand the mysteries of the universe and the mysteries of mankind. And what it's saying is that you must do the same. At this time in your life, metaphorically speaking, take some time, take some really quality time to just hang back, sit back, and receive the wisdom from the universe. The universe is offering you this right now. You are being instructed, I guess, to pause and to spend some time in reflection. This is not a time for taking action. This is a time for reflection, for taking a break, for stepping back and observing. There is something that you are missing because your life is moving quickly, it's moving fast. So it's advising you to slow down significantly in order to identify what decisions need to be made right now at this point in time in your life. And this card often comes up when one is being manipulated or played by, not by someone, but just by feelings of uncertainty, okay? And therefore it makes you extremely vulnerable. And this is why the hangman is here, to remind you to have faith in being alone, have faith in solace, and allow yourself to gain uh, some new perspectives. And that's at your center. And I am noticing here that I would like to just move into the sword cards. I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to talk about this Seven of Swords and the Two of Swords. The Seven of Swords is crowning your center. The Two of Swords is at the base of your center. And there's a lot going on with this card over here. After we've looked at that, I am getting an inclination at talking about your court cards, your 2 cup cards, the King of Cups and the Knight of Cups. All right, the Seven of Swords, which is crowning your reading, crowning your center, I should say, and it is crowning your reading. It's at the center of the top row. With this Seven of Cards, swords are all about mental processes, how our mind makes decisions on how we feel and how we think about things, how our mind how that works within ourselves and our minds. It's a logical energy oftentimes. Sometimes it can mean confusion. It's also a card that denotes communication. The swords are air. And you have 7 of them. And as you can see here, there are 2 swords that are firmly placed down on the ground. And then this young man, he has 3 swords in one hand and 2 in another. And he is really struggling to see how his feet are wide open, and he's trying to walk away with all this stuff, and he's having a hard time managing and balancing all of these swords. It's 7 swords. And so because of this, the 7 of Swords can bring numerous challenges to your reading. There is an emphasis with this card that there's a focus in your life on education, particularly advanced education or some kind of trade that you are perhaps beginning. There's like something new that you might be embarking in or trying to consider, not trying, but maybe considering in applying some learning a course or something that has to do with more advanced learning. Taurus says you guys are calculating individuals and you are perhaps going through a phase of needing to speak out and express your opinions. It's also indicating to me that there are perhaps mental projects that you have applied extreme effort, a lot of work, or that need a lot of effort and work that need to be carried out into the manifested plane, to bring it out to reality so that really appreciate the materialization of your ideas, bring them into reality, and in that way you can see concrete results are really going to be pretty awesome for you. It is probably, they are swords, but it's about learning something. It could be some kind of a new creative project. Taurus says you guys are very creative. And we're talking here about mental learning situations. So perhaps you're getting ready to publish or produce a creative project, or maybe you're editing or completing or arranging or fixing something that you have done and that still needs more work. Perhaps you are having to use computer programs to bring this work together. It's this project that you're working on has a lot of challenges, and it's crowning your hangman, which could be indicating that this is a big project and it involves a lot of different things and it's becoming difficult and you might be feeling frustrated, hence the hangman, which is advising you to just take a step back and reflect. You might want to take maybe 5 days off, a week off or something, and just kind of get away from all that to be able to come back and tackle it with a new perspective, perhaps. Yeah. Because there are things that you're doing here that will allow you to express your ideas. Because the importance of communicating yourself, expressing yourself at this point in your life or at this point in time is really important for you, and perhaps you really want to find a sense of honest purity that will come through on this project, or perhaps how this project, being perhaps a creative project, will express a true aspect of yourself, where maybe you are even finding your own style or your own voice within that project. It also could mean that maybe you are trying to put this together and maybe you're having a difficult time communicating with others what it is that you want from them in regards to this creation, this thing that you're working on. And it's becoming difficult for you to express what you want and what you need, because maybe you're not really sure exactly which way you want this thing to develop in the reality plane. We can put it that way. And so, okay. And then Below your hangman, you have this Two of Swords. And this card, two usually indicates two choices, two options, two directions, but there's swords and there's about the mind. Eyes are covered, but that she's sitting on a cubed stone, which is having a firm base. There is a moon, but it's not a full moon, so there could be some clarity. But the water is kind of, it's not a calm water. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of like a prickly water, like, when it's a calm water, but then the wind blows on it and it kind of gets these little wrinkly things on it, and so it's like a breezy kind of uh, thing happening with this water. It's not a strong wind. There are no clouds in the sky. So it is a beautiful card, and there's two swords, and she's holding them very firmly and evenly, balancing them, crossing her heart, and they're facing upward. Here the swords are all facing downward, but these swords are facing upward, okay? And what does that mean? Because this card could be affecting you right now, and maybe, or it might be affecting you, and it's not a comfortable thing. You might have to make a choice with this card in relation to what's going on up here, Tauruses. And it's going to be a really difficult decision, perhaps, for you to make. And it might be this position here and the stone foundation. It's keeping you from really moving forward. But the card is telling you that sometimes we have to push ourselves really hard to progress. So even though you might be going through a difficult time right now, there is probably necessity in it as well. Okay, that decision needs to be made. So this is the card of being stuck in the middle, and perhaps a little bit of fear of moving forward. You might have a lot of options at your disposal at this moment, and that might be the reason why you're hesitating to make any decision or to move forward, because you don't want to make the wrong move, and you feel like your hands are tied. And I think that, again, both of these sword cards, the one crowning you and the one at your base, Tauruses, are really reflecting this idea of stepping back and just don't make any decisions yet. Take some time to think about it and try to get some more perspectives before you make any decision. And this is at your center, so I think that that's really appropriate in relation to these sword cards. Now, let's look at the court cards you have there. Your court cards, your king and your knight, and they're both cups, which indicate emotions. The court cards can represent people in your life, Tauruses. So maybe these decisions, and each sword is pointing towards each one. Look at that, which is, I'm just noticing that right now. So these could be men that could be related to this project. One man is older than the other. One's going to be a king, which means somebody, I'm going to say man because it's a king, but it's somebody who is older and has more experience. Your other card is somebody who's younger. He's a knight. The King of Cups is like the king of cool. And he's a great card in this reading. especially if you're looking for ways to express yourself emotionally, or maybe you're having to accept certain aspects or people in your life that you would rather not. Okay? So there you go. Now, with this King of Cups, you can be for sure that even though there may be a lot of going on in your life and you are likely to find that, not everything is going your way, what will be is really what this king is saying. It is telling you to pay special attention in the areas in your life that are demanding a lot of your focus towards things that are outside of you. Try to identify them. There might be some things that are taking you away from your center, and hence that's the difficulty perhaps with this decision process of the Two of Swords. That could have something to do with that Two of Swords. Focus on those things that are distracting you and think about the ways in which you can work in a smarter way. Does that make sense? In terms of this Seven of Swords energy that's going up here, which I'm not really sure exactly what that is, but it is a lot of stuff that's going on. It means a lot of things that are happening, um, perhaps in relation to a project or an educational program, or something that you're embarking on that involves a lot of communication, probably. Yeah. So figure out a way to work smarter. And I think that this hangman at your center telling you to take some time off and just try to get different perspectives might be really useful. Now, but he is the cool king, right? Keeping cool. So the energy from this King of Cups is really great because it will help you to keep your composure, maintain balance in your life when you have a high need for patience. Okay, because there's a lot going on. All right, Tauruses? There could be just a lot of communication coming in from different parts, and you have the cups, and there's water here too. So whatever's this communication that's coming in, Tauruses, is about something or someone or a project or something that you're doing that's really important for you. You feel a lot of love over this situation up here. That's what I think probably what's going on. And you're really a little overwhelmed. You're feeling a bit stuck. You're not really sure what to do. But, take some time off to kind of meditate on that. Now, with that Knight of Cups, um, that card is all about having dedication, motivation, emotional sensitivity, being tender and sensitive, and a very loving person, Tauruses. And yeah, I mean, that totally depicts you, but it is a cup card. So it could also be somebody who is water in relation to their horoscope sign, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So it could be somebody with those traits, not necessarily those signs. The Knight of Cups likes to travel and is constantly expanding his knowledge, or it could be you. Okay, you like to expand your knowledge, and you're close to family and friends, and you're known to be a defender of honor as well as matters of the heart, and you're very loyal. So you are the person that everybody goes to for emotional support, Taurus, and They look for you when they need nurturing and loving care. Okay, so with this card, the Knight of Cups, it's symbolic of a young type of love, but one that is, it's a love that's enhanced by that ability of taking action and saying the right things, saying what people need to hear. But this is an innocent energy. He's an innocent knight, and he's also at the same time maturing, a student of life. He sacrifices for others because he likes to defend what is right. And so he will sacrifice for others that cross his path. And so this could be very well be you, Tauruses. So what I am thinking is that you do have this tendency of rescuing, because people do go for you with their problems and their worries, etc. So maybe, yeah, there's a lot of communication coming in about something, a project or a person that you love very much. And you want to keep your cool, take some time to, just kind of observe and get different perspectives. But because people are coming to you because you have this air about you, this quality about you, that people feel they can go to you and express themselves to you. And this energy of the King of Cups is going to help you to keep your composure, maintain balance, keep your cool. So there you go. Now, you have the Devil, you have the Six of Pentacles, you have the High Priestess, and you have the World. So let's start with the World. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the World and at the High Priestess. We're going to look at the Devil, and at the end we'll look at that Six of Pentacles that you have there, okay? With the World, it's the card number 21, which is the last card of the major arcana. It follows the Judgment card, okay? It comes after the Judgment card, which is number 20, and then this is number 21 of the major arcana, and then comes the 0, which is the Fool. And then you have, after the Fool, you have the Magician. The Magician is 1, and the High Priestess is the card number 2. So here you have the last card, and then you have the number 2 card. So you have the World and the High Priestess. That's really very, very awesome. And it's coming into your reading, this World card. The first card is that energy that's coming into your reading. And basically, when this card shows up in somebody's reading and it's coming in for you, it's saying that the world is your oyster. Like the Wheel of Fortune card, it is indicative that there is luck on your side, Tauruses, and that the universe is looking at you favorably. However, it is also saying that things are definitely looking up, and that what you want is at your fingertips. You simply have to reach out and take what you want, Tauruses. So this card is a reminder that all things are possible, and there are endless forces coming in that are at work. It's a great card. It's promising you a resolution in this situation. Now, with the High Priestess, she is the number 2 card. She's very spiritual, one of the most spiritual cards in the tarot, actually. And she's all about balance and manifestation. You are trying to bring something to fruition. You're not sure which way to go. you have two paths, you have some choices to make. There's a lot of stuff coming in, and you just need some time to think about how you feel about that, or what it is that you want to do about it. The high priestess is talking about balance and manifestation, and the time has come for you, Tauruses, to understand the balance necessary to get what you want out of life, or what you are looking for. The time has come. Here you're indecisive. Well, she's telling you that it's time to decide what it is that you want. Now, she can also represent the multiple aspects of your life. Like, you have all these different things happening. You have different aspects of your life, your emotional aspects, your mental aspects, and then here, money, or something having to do with giving and receiving. She is also showing that you have a true understanding of your own desires, and that it's time to follow through on your instincts and trust that that inner feeling, those inner feelings that you're getting, because nobody's going to know you better than you do. You know yourself best. You also know what is best for you, so it is okay to seek counsel or advice from others. Maybe somebody with these keen characteristics, somebody who's older and wiser. But at the same time, make sure that what they want for you are not overshadowing what you want for yourself. Okay, Tauruses, and then we have the devil. And yeah, we're thinking, oh no, the devil card, but really, don't worry, it's not all evil. Generally, the devil represents very human aspects rather than like the supernatural stuff. It's very real human stuff. So basically, the devil is the perversion of everything good, be it spiritual, wholeness, completeness, balance. So the devil shows that there are unhealthy aspects in your life that you might be ignoring. Okay? It could be representing spiritual needs are being put on the side, and that you might be prioritizing physical needs. And typically this card will show up in somebody's reading to identify an extremely unhealthy behavior, or an unhealthy relationship, or an unhealthy environment, Tauruses. So it is a card that acts as a warning omen that unless you correct whatever it is that's creating these negative aspects, not only in your spiritual, metaphysical world, but also very much in your physical world, very real. So it might be the time to act and stop, ignoring the situation if you might not even be aware of it. So just perhaps keep an eye out. And it is catty corner to your high priestess. Maybe preconceived ideas of how you think things should be done, or maybe holding on too tightly to that creative project in a way that it's not really healthy for you. Maybe some kind of an obsessive component going on there, perhaps. But the thing is that it can create a lot of imbalance in your life with this card. So maybe you're being deceived. Maybe you're deceiving yourself. Or there are outside forces
that are there that you might have to deal with. Um, there might be some deception going on. Wow, that's pretty intense. And that's probably why you're having a difficult time moving forward. You're not really sure. Well, obviously there's something going on there. This is going to be a good thing. You might want to also really make sure that you understand what's going on, get some clarity. And I'm thinking it might be a health issue. Something going on with your health that might be a problem, and you might have to do something about it and deal with it. Or again, it could have something to do with this project or this creative project or these seven swords that are coming in, all this communication that's going on. It could be related to your work. Maybe you're working too hard. It did say work smarter, not harder, with your King of Cups. So maybe you're trying to, maybe you're being too frugal with your time. And maybe you're not really getting anywhere. You're feeling stuck. You've been putting all this effort, all this communication, all this trying to organize. Something's going on here. Keeping your spending in check. Maybe you're spending too much money. It might have something to do with your finances. Any negative aspect that's happening in your life right now. I mean, you're getting all these great blessing and wonderful cards, but you've got this card. So there's, and it might have something to do with money, because you do have that Six of Pentacles there. And with the Six of Pentacles, you know, there is the scale. It has the scale there, and this is the card that's leaving your reading. On his left hand, he has a scale. It's 6 pentacles, and he's framed by those 6 pentacles and the 2 figures at the bottom who are kneeling, and he's standing, handing money to them, helping them. This is a card of ups and downs, regaining stability with money, regaining stability with work. So yeah, this has to do, your reading has to do with work and money. There's this energy coming in which is keeping you really busy, a lot of communication, a lot of things to do, and you're working on that. You know, you got some really great cards here, positive, this part up here. But down here, this one's related to deciding, but this and this, these are relating to finding stability perhaps in your financial matters, Tauruses. All right. So it's a 6 of Pentacles. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Pentacles is talking about destitution, and it recognizes the need to ask for help in order for one to get back on their feet. Okay. With the 6 of Pentacles, there's like a conscience awareness, or even a taking action in terms of charity and doing good works. So it could mean that either you're receiving charity that you really need to get you where you need to be financially, to find stability in a living situation perhaps, or that you are helping somebody out. It could also mean that your basic needs, like that financially you're doing pretty good, that things are happening, things are changing. So it could be, Tauruses, that with this devil coming out, it could be, it might be telling me, it might be meaning that you are definitely aware of this, because you're getting this card here. If it were this card, it would be a negative component to this devil, but because it's the 6, it is telling me that you're aware of this imbalance in your money, in your finances, how you spend your money perhaps, or how you're making money. This 6 of Pentacles is also saying that you have learned how to manage your own finances and that you are now competent at meeting your base needs, food, shelter, housing, and that you're probably in a position to help and teach others. And perhaps that this project, even though it has been difficult, is going to bring you a lot of it's going to bring you more economic stability or more financial growth, just a bit more. It's a 6. Tauruses, there you have your reading. Stay tuned. Thank you for visiting my channel, Lucy the Antigua Tarot. I'm Lucy. Don't hesitate to comment. Feedback is always appreciated. I am still learning so much. I've only been reading the cards for a couple of years, so I'm still learning a lot. And this is a process. Take good care. Be good. Okay? Enjoy the sun and the sky, and I will see you guys soon. Okay? Bye-bye.
Such few days that we spent together, yet the moments we shared, they seem to last forever.